99% of your problems is you hanging around people that do not match your lifestyle. Do not match the kind of income that you have, your morals, values, class, all of those things. There's no alignment there, and that's why you have issues with your relationships. I've observed my relationships, and I've seen that I entered unnecessary problems with people by not associating with people that are within my class. Let me tell you this. I had a recent issue with someone, and when I really saw it for what it was, right, I understood that I was trying to create harmony and cooperation where they could never be, right? I live a completely different lifestyle to the other person. Of course, I'm not a millionaire or anything, but I could go on holidays, several holidays in a year. They don't live that type of lifestyle, right? So I went to stay in a resort close to where they live, right? And it's not a resort that they could afford. And from the moment that they looked to the resort, or even before that, number one, they were trying to persuade me from booking the resort. They said there were better ones, even though I kept insisting this is the resort that I want to stay in. Why is it a debate about what resort that I want to stay in? Secondly, when they came to the resort, they were like, oh, this place is old, blah, 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 but I like it, right? So I started to see the subtle signs of jealousy and envy, and because they can't afford that type of lifestyle, right? So it naturally creates that level of resentment because they think that, well, not all people, but a lot of people, that there's a mismatch within lifestyles or income or whatever. They think because they're in proximity to you, they're entitled to the things that you have, or entitled to the kind of lifestyle that you have, right? So they were like checking to see how much it costs per night and blah, blah, blah. And I could see there was a little bit of envy and jealousy. But see, the funny thing is envy and jealousy is very subtle, but it comes out in a lot of your body language and things that you say, right? So I think that they were probably thinking in their mind, right, you could have given me this money. I bought them 2 gifts for Christmas. They didn't even really say thank you, but I felt like they still felt like I can do more because I have more, and because they're seeing where I'm staying and access to the lifestyle that I have, and they don't have access to it. And this time, it was the first time we ever had an argument. We've never had an argument before. And I thought, what triggered that kind of argument? And I thought it was definitely because seeing the result gave that reminder to them about the position that they're in their life. And that easily causes resentment. Easily. So in this 2026 year, you can't be navigating this world with too much empathy to the point that you think it's okay to align with people that are not on your level. And let's just put it like that. They're not on your level, right? They're not on your level. So later on, and the funny thing is, sometimes in life, we're also not on that level, but we got to do the work to get to that level, right? And it's not even like I'm trying to put people on a hierarchy, but sometimes when you're not there, you're not there, right? And sometimes you got keep people at arm's length, right? If they're not there, just to watch and observe them or whatever it may be, because it's even for your own protection. When you look at all these celebrities and stories that have happened, it's always been like jealousy and envy and blah, blah, blah. So you got to gatekeep yourself. You got to gatekeep your own circle. Sometimes you got to be your only circle. If that means that's what you have to do for your own protection, that's what you have to do for your own protection. But you can't go around naive and thinking that people are happy for you and they don't have enough money to pay their bills. And then you're rocking your designer bags and their bag is from the thrift store. I'm not trying to mock anybody, but that's just the reality that we're living in, and sometimes you've got to be very aware of that. You're going out to dinner, you're spending money that is probably their monthly budget. So you have to be in alignment with people this year, this 2026, that match the lifestyle that you have. There's no sentiment here. When you're thinking about sentiment, you're going to put yourself in problems. Too much sentiment is going to put you in problems. And if you think that you want them around them because you're trying to help them to elevate, it's not your job. You can give them the tools, but keeping them around you just because you want to help them and elevate them, you're just giving them more opportunity to be in proximity to you and to be more jealous and envious of you, because that's what it comes down to. The world that we live in is wicked, desperately wicked. You think that people are happy that you're on top of them, or you're further ahead than them, or you're more advanced than them, that you're more progressive than them. So this particular person, we sat at the pool area in my hotel, and they proceeded to order. Bear in mind, they invited somebody, one of their guests, and their guest was ordering, and then they invited another guest, and their guest was ordering. So I'm assuming if you're inviting guests over to come and order by the pool, you're going to be paying for your guest, right? The bill comes, I'm like, okay. Then she goes, oh, she's going to settle it. When you use the term, you're going to settle it, that means to me that you're going to pay your bill. You're going to pay your bill for your guests. And then when I said settle it, what do you mean? Because she just sat there, she didn't bring out her bank card, nothing, right? And then she now said, don't make this awkward. That means I'm assuming when you now said that, you're making it awkward, because now you're basically saying you can't pay, you can't afford to pay. So if you can't afford to pay, why would you be ordering things that you can't pay for? And why would you be bringing guests that you cannot afford to pay for? You can't afford to even pay your own meal. So you don't want me to embarrass you by making it awkward, but you're making yourself awkward, because why would you do that? And obviously you lack etiquette. You lack consideration. And also you're entitled, and this is what it came down to. And because of that, I cut off the friendship, right? Because the thing is, a lot of these people that are in proximity to you, they don't have the same lifestyle as you, don't have the same income as you, they feel entitled to what you have. Because the fact that she thought it was okay to order those things without, first consulting with me, or telling me that she didn't have the funds for those things before you even ordered it, it shows that you're entitled, because they've been pocket watching, because you think, oh, you know what, this person has enough money, blah, blah, blah. You don't know what my budget is. And this is why I'm saying that you can't align with everybody, because a lot of these people, I'm sorry to say, it's also a class thing, and class comes with different levels of understanding of relationships and how we relate, and etiquette and things like that. And it all comes down to, upbringing, the types of backgrounds that you come from. And sometimes you're trying to bring people up, and it's deeper than income. It's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. You can't change people's background and how they were brought up. If you're someone brought up in survival, and someone that was actually brought up in comfort and luxury, they think differently. They operate differently. I personally, I never grew up in poverty, but let me tell you this, even though I've grown up with people with wealth, I've never thought it was okay to be ordering stuff on someone's tab just because, it's even an open tab or whatever it may be. That shows me that the person has an entitlement mindset. That's what I'm saying. It's 2026. You can't afford to align with people that they're not matching your energy, they're not matching your frequency, they're not matching your lifestyle, they're not matching your income, they're not actually matching your mindset. It's deep.